Well, let's first talk about the clean fast and why do we want to fast clean? And so I like to think about there are three fasting goals, three things we really want to accomplish during the fast. And when you understand the three things you want to accomplish, it helps you to understand what you would or wouldn't consume during the fast. Like, for example, after I read the obesity code in 2016, I realized I'd been doing it all wrong as far as fasting because I was constantly keeping my insulin high. Um, I learned about from Dr. Fung something called the cephalic phase insulin response, which is when you taste something sweet, your brain says, "Oh, sweetness is coming in. That's glucose. We're going to have high blood sugar. We need to release some insulin in response for the raise in blood sugar that's about to happen." Except nowadays we're drinking like diet sodas that have zero glucose raising. But we think that that's okay. It's like a free kind of a thing, but actually nothing is free in the body because your brain tastes that artificial sweetener and thinks, "Oh, sugar's coming in." Of course it isn't, but your body still releases insulin. And we don't want that during the fast. We want to keep insulin low during the fast. So why do we want to keep insulin low? Because when insulin is low, you're able to tap into your fat stores for fuel. So fasting goal number one, keep your insulin low. So you don't want to take in anything that your brain is going to think is food. So you want to avoid things, artificial sweeteners, natural sweeteners. Even if somebody's like, "Here's a magical sweetener that doesn't cause your body to release insulin." Your brain is not that sophisticated. It tastes sweet. It thinks food's coming in. So don't believe the hype from, the new artificial sweetener of the day, whatever that might be. You want to avoid lemon in your water. You want to avoid food flavors. So anything that's food flavor, your brain is going to associate with food like flavored sparkling water, 0 calories, but that's not what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid insulin response. So keep all those fun flavors in your eating window. So fasting goal number one, keep your insulin low. Fasting goal number two is we want to tap into our fat stores for fuel. And of course, keeping insulin low helps us do that. But also, we don't want to take in any source of energy for fuel. So you don't want to put butter in your coffee, MCT oil, all of those things, cream, sorry, you don't want to have that. Keep all that out of your coffee. If you're taking in sources of energy, you're even exogenous ketones. People used to try to sell us those all the time. I don't know if they're still doing that, but maybe that petered out. But you don't want to take in external sources of energy. We want to tap into our own fat stores for fuel. So, being in ketosis happens through fasting, but high ketone levels isn't the goal. You want to tap into your fat stores, so don't take in any sources of fuel during the fast. And fasting goal number three, we'd like to have increased autophagy. And I'm sure you know what autophagy is. It's our body's recycling, upcycling system. When we're fasting clean, nothing's coming in. So our bodies are like, well, let's look around and see what we got that needs to be cleaned up. So our bodies can do a lot of cellular housekeeping and also rebuilding, but it breaks things down during the fasting phase. We want to break down those old junky proteins so our bodies can build them into something new. So we want to avoid taking in any form of protein. So don't drink the bone broth or anything like that. So what does that leave us? Well, we can consume things that do not interfere with, autophagy. We don't want to interfere with our body tapping into fat stores, and we don't want to raise our insulin. So what can we have? Plain water, always a good choice, always safe. Black coffee. Sometimes people are like, well, wait a minute, you said avoid flavors. Well, black coffee and plain tea have bitter flavor profiles. Turns out our brains do not release insulin in response to a bitter flavor profile. So that's why black coffee and plain tea can be fine during the fast. They also seem to stimulate autophagy. So that's a good thing as well. So don't have your flavored coffee or hazelnut or French vanilla, all that. Keep that for your eating window. Because again, your brain thinks that something yummy is coming in. Sparkling water is also a great option. Stick to the unflavored. So, as far as other things you can have, I like to say, keep your supplements in your eating window. Other than something like electrolytes, those do not break the fast. I don't think most of us need to go crazy worrying about electrolyte depletion unless you're doing a whole lot of exercise or sweating a lot, or if you're really overdoing drinking a ton of fluids, you may need to supplement with electrolytes. I just drink mineral water during the fast, and it's fine. Minerals don't break the fast, but I've never needed to supplement with extra electrolytes personally. although you can. If you are going to, make sure you find something that is just electrolytes, nothing flavored. You don't want anything like, delicious. Avoid the delicious. Save that for your eating window.